welcome to RNS Podcast. My name is Dilly,
And I'm Evan.
also known as Evie.
Yes.
Today, Evan, we talk about Alita Battle Angel, but first, please leave a like if you're watching this video. Please subscribe. Please watch the video all the way through. It helps us out. Isn't that right, Evan?
Yes.
Cool.
Cool.
Very cool. We have, 53 subscribers?
54.
54 subscribers?
Yeah.
Epic.
Thank you, all 54 of you.
Thank every single one of you. Thank everyone who watches our little videos. Buy HBO Max.
Yeah, guys.
Also sponsor us, HBO Max.
Yeah, do it.
Because I could really show for them with all my heart, and
yeah,
it would be genuine. It would be real. So love HBO Max.
Love Warner Brothers. Love DC.
What?
I said love Warner Brothers. Love DC.
Oh yeah, that's my main two things that I like. So Evan, we get into the movie.
Yes.
We get into Alita Battle Angel.
Of course.
Evan, who directed Alita Battle Angel?
It was Mr. Robert Rodriguez, I believe.
And what is he known for, Evan?
He's known for Spy Kids.
He's known for Spy Kids. That's completely irrelevant, so let's not talk about that.
Oh, it is irrelevant. I don't think we'll mention Spy Kids at all.
That was an ironic joke for those of you that are unaware. This movie is very Spy Kids-esque. And we'll get into that a bit later. But Evan, what else is he known for, Robert Rodriguez?
Machete.
Machete?
He did Machete, of course. Sorry. I'm sorry. I should have enunciated it. I apologize. Of course, the classic Machete films. What else do you do? Sin City, of course. Sin City.
Sin City? Yeah.
Oh, we have talked about maybe one day doing a Sin City episode, so maybe we will do that.
That sounds good to do.
The Faculty. That was a good movie. I like that one.
The Faculty.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I don't know what the fuck else has he done. He just did Book of Boba Fett for Disney Plus.
He did do Book of Boba Fett, and he did something else.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
We
forgot to mention that.
But didn't he do something that was Spy Kids-esque?
Yeah, he did Spy Kids Part 4.
Oh, what's it called?
Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
You said Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
But he also did, and guess what, Evan? We Can Be Heroes? Is that what it's called? For Netflix?
Oh, that fucking show.
I watched
Did he actually, work on it? Oh, he did. Okay. Because I know Lava Girl and Shark Boy both came back.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'm 90%.
And it wasn't even Taylor Lautner. He was just some dude. And he had a mask, right?
Yeah.
To show it was
he had a shark mask, right? That's
great.
I watched most of it, and I was like, this is dog shit. I had to turn it off. It was kind of cute, I guess. I would let my child watch it, but it was fucking... I don't have a child, for clarity, but if I had a child, I would let them watch it.
You don't have a child?
So, Evan.
Yes.
Apart from that, the beautiful, illustrious... what's her name? Who plays Alita?
I'm not sure.
Rosa Salazar.
Oh, yeah.
You may know her from such classic films as...
Alita Battle Angel.
Alita Battle Angel. Chips 2017.
Oh, God.
Bird Box.
Chips 2017. I forgot they made that.
That does exist. Fake ass 21 Jump Street.
Chips.
And I just mean in the sense of the reboots. I don't know anything about the originals. She's in Brand New Cherry Flavor.
It might have been... I didn't even think about that. They might have saw, the success of bringing back the 80 cop show in 21 Jump Street, and they're like, yo, we can do that with Chips. And it was it was a major flop.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
She was in The Maze Runner.
Oh, all these classic films. My God, she really is,
This may be the best movie she's been in, and for Evan, that might be saying something.
No. She's really,
beautiful.
I can't even remember her name. She's the...
Rosa Salazar?
No. She's the joke is stupid, because I can't remember. What's the, famous actress, so many Academy Awards? What's her name? Meryl Streep. She's the Meryl Streep of the new generation.
Yeah, she's today's Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
No, but I love her. She's talented, fantastic, beautiful, perfect actress, wonderful character actor.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Christoph Waltz. Cool.
Yeah, I fuck with Christoph Waltz.
Right, he's cool. What else is he in, Evan?
The Green Hornet.
Oh, he's the villain.
Yeah, the classic film, The Green
Baron
Hornet, with Seth Rogen.
Yeah. I actually kind of like that movie.
I do not like that movie, but...
You know what's really fucking funny? This is a huge tangent.
Seth Rogen?
Yeah. I watch a lot of videos on writing, like, kind of like professors and, like, screenwriters just talking about writing. And this dude said, like, he was like, da-da-da, like, the movie Battleship. And he was like, Battleship, Green Hornet, da-da-da, like, what do all these movies have in common? And he was like, the main characters are completely unlikable. It's funny as fuck. He was like, never do this.
Why do you do Seth like that?
And,
do you think he did Seth dirty?
No. That movie, he's probably right.
Was he likable? No, he was kind of a dick in it. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he was just kind of a dick, and he just kind of cared.
But that's not always a bad thing.
No.
If it's intentional.
But it's just like
and he came back around. Like, he was an asshole, and then he's like, oh, no, I'm becoming a better person. Wasn't that it?
Kinda.
I don't know. But I don't know what the video was about that you were watching, but...
It was about bad screenwriting. Like, about...
I mean, that movie's not good. There's not me defending The Green Hornet. It was not a good movie.
I think he was giving examples of bad movies that, like, flopped.
Oh, okay.
I think that was what it was.
Did you mention Alita Battle Angel?
No.
Did you mention that in that video?
He was like, no, on the other hand.
Joke.
He was like, on the other hand, you can make a great movie that will sometimes not make a lot of money.
I'm joking.
So, yeah, for context also, we haven't talked about this yet. And we've already joked about it. This movie did not do well financially.
Oh, it didn't, yeah.
It did okay critically. There's, like, a pretty good amount of fans of it. Like, the reviews were okay.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. Remember that movement? After they saw the Snyder shit start, they're like, yeah, how about we do it, too?
Yeah, that's never gonna work.
Yeah.
It barely worked for the Snyder Cut, I think. So
yeah, I would agree.
I think people were lucky to get that one. You're not getting, like, nothing else just from like, a hashtag or whatever. You know what other classic actors in this movie?
Who?
Do you know?
Who?
Keen Johnson.
Who the hell is that?
Keen Johnson.
Is that Terry McGinnis?
Yeah, he plays Hugo. He would be a fantastic fit to play Terry McGinnis in live action. That's a joke. Also,
for those of you who don't know, Terry McGinnis is the guy from Batman Beyond.
Yeah, he's like the
main
replacement,
character, yeah.
the new Batman for a new generation, which is awesome. I love Batman Beyond. But we were talking before we even were watching this movie. We're like, oh, who would play Batman Beyond? And we were like, Timothée Chalamet. I can't think of anything else, like anyone else. And when this came on, I was like, oh, that should be he should be Terry. Yeah, that sucks. So what is it? Guess what he's in?
What is he in?
Euphoria. Put him in Euphoria.
Is he really in it?
Yeah, he's in Euphoria. See.
Cool. There is too late to talk about now, but I'm now. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I have finally watched Peacemaker. Just talking about Euphoria made me think about HBO Max.
Okay.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. You want to say some brief thoughts about Peacemaker?
Real quick, okay, because we already got into the main topic. But Peacemaker, it was okay. There you go. It was okay.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was okay.
You liked it.
It was okay.
No, you liked it.
Okay, yeah.
You thought it was good.
Well, yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on it, so whatever you say.
You say great even.
So he was in Euphoria?
Yeah, he was in Euphoria. So he's relevant. So I'll have to put Keen Johnson in the tags, right?
Yeah.
So he'll be in there. And then probably we don't need to go too much deeper. Guess who else is in this? Jackie Earle Haley.
He was? Did he play the big fucking robot dude?
I think so.
Jennifer Connelly's in it too. I like her.
Jackie Earle Haley is a good fucking guy. Jennifer Connelly, you said?
Yeah, she was in it.
What is she in?
Labyrinth. She was in Labyrinth. She was in Requiem for a Dream.
Snowpiercer, the show.
The show.
A Beautiful Mind. Well, she's cool too.
Well, I would think it's Labyrinth, so shout out to her for that. Oh, and she was in that one. Was it John Singleton? That one movie where she's like a lesbian in it. That was a good movie.
I don't know. Chasing Amy?
No, not Chasing Amy. I forgot what it was called. It's like this college. I think John Singleton directed it. I saw it on TV when I was like in 7th grade. I liked it a lot. But yeah, I think she's in that movie.
Well, maybe one day we'll find out what the fuck you're talking about.
We can look it up after.
What's his name? John Singleton?
Yeah, I think he directed it. I could be wrong. Just look up John Singleton, Jennifer Connelly, and let's see if something comes up.
Higher Learning.
Yes, that's the movie.
It's a good one?
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, cool. I'm always looking for good movies to watch, Evan.
Rest in peace, John Singleton.
Rip. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. Is there any other cool talent that we're missing? I think there might be one big one, Evan. James Cameron.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can get into James Cameron's involvement a little bit. Of course, we're missing Edward Norton.
Oh, the classic.
Edward Norton.
Oh, we didn't mention Mahershala Ali either.
Oh, yeah. Mahershala Ali is in it as well. I like Mahershala Ali.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
What is he in?
He was a good choice for Blade.
He's good in Green Book.
In Green Book? Yeah, he was good in Green Book. He was also good in Moonlight. He was quite good in that movie.
So do you want to let me give a brief synopsis about this movie? It's a dystopian future.
Oh.
Okay, Evan, shocked? Are you shocked?
Yes.
So there's a dystopian future, and there's a cool Jetsons city,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone else lives below it in squalor. And a beautiful, perfect, beautiful robot girl falls down. And she's found by a scientist on the little lower ground, and she's built back up. It's kind of like Mega Man or something.
I was thinking Astro Boy.
Astro Boy.
Yeah, it's more like
Same
Astro
thing.
Boy, I think.
Same thing, but...
I guess.
Well, actually,
That's literally like exactly what happens in
Is
Astro
Astro
Boy.
Boy the
When
same?
Astro Boy is like the one scientist's son or whatever, he dies, and then the other scientist like builds him up or whatever. I don't remember the scientist's name in Astro Boy, but it's that shit.
Yeah.
He was a dead boy, and then he's like built back as a robot.
Oh, yeah, so it's like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
What else is there? She gets into misadventures.
Yeah, this movie sucks, so there's not really much to get into. I'm sorry, Dylan.
It's the best movie ever made. It's my favorite movie.
I really think this movie has like no substance at all.
If
I'm gonna
I
be
had-
honest.
If I
with
had
you.
to watch this movie again, I would watch it again right now.
No, I shouldn't shit on it completely. It's kind of fun.
If I could watch any movie we've ever reviewed right now, I would watch this one again right now.
Oh, nice fit.
I love this movie.
Okay, well, tell us why, Dylan.
She's a cute robot.
Okay.
I like her.
Yeah.
Well, there's some substance, but it's like shallow. Which I guess is the opposite of substance, but that's okay.
I really think it has a horrible script. This movie script is god awful.
A lot of
in my opinion.
Not a lot of it. I think some of the dialogue is really bad.
The dialogue is part of it. Yeah, the dialogue is not good. I feel like what they were I feel like what they were maybe going for was like anime-esque kind of dialogue, at least at times.
Maybe.
For those of you who don't know, this is, did you mention that right? That's based off a manga.
Oh, no, I didn't.
And there were I think there were a couple anime adaptations, but nothing like long-running series or anything, just like what we were mentioning, like the OVAs. But yeah, so I feel like maybe they were going for that at times. I don't really know. But the dialogue is not good. It doesn't land, in my opinion.
I think the fucking Euphoria guy is a bad actor.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is.
But I think Alita, the wonderful, beautiful actress, what is her name? Rosa Salazar. I think she's a good actress. It's mostly a voice performance in this, but that's okay.
I think she did motion capture.
Did
I'm
she?
pretty sure, yeah, she did motion capture for it. Pretty sure, yeah.
Either way, she did a good job, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't the best part of the movie. I would say.
I agree. Christoph Waltz is good.
He was okay.
He was fine.
He was fine, I guess.
Edward Norton, though, you can't deny.
Oh,
Had a
yeah,
fantastic performance.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, Edward Norton's performance is basically just a cameo.
Yeah, he's in it twice for like 1 second.
Yeah.
And there's one part
They're setting him up for like the sequel to be like the main villain.
the sequel that's definitely coming next week.
Yeah, next week. You were saying that?
But yeah, Edward Norton, he has this cool... There's one scene where you don't know who he... Like, I don't remember the context, but it just shows him as like a hologram in the background of like a laboratory.
Yeah.
And then later it like shows him again, and then his glasses go up, and you go, "Oh, it's Edward Norton."
Yeah,
I don't know how they got him, or why they got him.
Why? Well, because they were expecting to make a sequel, of course.
That's one interesting thing though about this movie too. Is like, why did you think this would succeed? Why would you put so much money into this movie?
Well, I guess this is a good time we can talk about the background of this movie a little bit. So this movie had been in development for like years, and
Do you know how long?
Since like late '90s, early 2000s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and of course James Cameron was the one originally attached to it. So it was really his like dream project. So I I'm guessing he read the manga and he's like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I want to make a movie with this. And of course, James Cameron, especially riding off of, like, right after Titanic, he could make anything he wanted to. You know what I mean? And then, of course, Avatar went on to make fucking over $1 billion
Yeah,
also.
well, I think once you get Avatar, it's like, all right, I can make Alita. Like,
yeah, so...
It's very similar kind of...
Well, he had already been working on Alita
heavy.
before that. But yeah, like you said, maybe the technology wasn't right when he first started working on it. I don't really know. But the point is that, like you said, was like, oh, how the fuck does it get made? Well, there's your answer. James Cameron has the pull. He can pretty much make whatever he wants to because, yeah, you've made 2 of the highest grossing movies of all time. You know what I mean? You can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah, we were talking about this during the movie, but it feels like maybe he was like... James Cameron, it seems, is very apprehensive about ruining his track record.
Yeah.
So I feel
kind of, because he's, especially these days, he's very selective about what he makes.
Exactly.
Well, he's only been working on Avatar for the last however many years.
Yeah. So it feels like to me he was like, you know what? Like, this might not hit. This might not do $1 billion. Let me pass this off.
Honestly, you might not be wrong.
I feel like that might be real.
Because even with Terminator, like the new Terminator, they're like, oh, James Cameron produced. Yeah. He's not gonna hop back in the director's seat for it.
I feel like every Terminator movie that comes out post James Cameron working on it, he's like, this is the good one.
Yeah.
Like, this is great stuff.
Yeah, so you have a point, I think. Yeah. He's like, he just wants to do his own thing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm interested, I guess, to see Avatar 2.
I mean, I am. I'm not gonna lie. Because I do, like... Even though Avatar is not very good, I respect James Cameron. Yeah, he's a great director.
And really I feel like he must know, especially for how long he's been working on it. He must know that he has to do like something. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? I don't.
Like he has to do something interesting with it.
Yeah, he was like, remember he was doing that underwater shit? Like he was like going underwater and filming shit, and then they're saying, oh, Avatar 2 is like based on the water tribes or whatever. So who knows? Who knows what James is up to?
He's up to something.
We'll find out.
He's up to something.
It allegedly. I say allegedly. It comes out this year.
That's very alleged.
Yeah.
Like that's not. Yeah. How many times has it been delayed? Probably at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
So. They say it's coming out in December this year. We'll see.
That
We've yet to see any footage or anything.
I remember years ago.
Who knows?
Sorry, I have a quote.
It's only March, but well, it'll be March when this episode comes out. We're at the end of February, but anyways, continue.
No, I was just gonna say about Avatar coming out. I have a quote of mentioning Grace Randolph. So what she said once, I remember years ago, she was like, "Disney is so smart. They're gonna do boom Avatar, Star Wars every December alternating." And that was like...
They really fell off that fucking...
That was so long ago.
That I think that... She was probably right. That probably was the plan. Yeah. And then it completely went off the rails.
Yeah, and then James was like, next year.
Well, not just the Avatar-wise, Star Wars-wise also,
yeah, because Star Wars is like... Who knows when the fuck...
It can be in theaters again, yeah.
And then Avatar, that's like, we're waiting for that to even get started.
Yeah.
Because it was Fox originally, right?
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, but now they're... So that must have been when Fox first bought them. I don't know.
Well, that wasn't that long ago.
I guess not.
So, I don't know. Either way, still, that plan did not go.
Yeah.
Accordingly.
It did not work out. But, Evan, I wanted to mention, for our viewers, and for you as well. You know what? I want you to guess. Let's have a little game.
Okay.
Okay, you have a little game, Evan. How much do you think the budget was?
200 mil?
400.
You're joking.
400 million.
The budget was 400 million. Yeah, I was like, there's no fucking way.
That's how much it made.
And the budget went how much? 200?
170.
170? That cap.
What?
I think it's more than that.
The budget?
Yeah.
170.
Well, like, according to Wikipedia, but I don't...
That's not
those numbers are not always, like,
that's not accounting for marketing?
Yeah. I don't know. They say Dune was, like, 170. I don't believe that either.
You don't believe that?
No, well, maybe. Well, no, for Dune, I don't believe it. For this, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's right. Because I was thinking 200. 200 might be kind of high, yeah. Okay, 170 makes sense. Because I was like, the CGI is not, like, groundbreaking, or... It looks good at times, but, yeah, so 170, it seemed right.
It looks good sometimes, and it's also always on screen, whether it looks good or not, so it's like, there's always money just, like, fucking burning in the background.
Yeah, so they say, like, to make profit, you gotta make, like, To break even, you gotta make double.
Yeah.
So they just barely made any profit off the movie. So it basically flopped, yeah.
But I feel like really you gotta triple it because of marketing.
Yeah. Well,
for it to be successful.
For it to be successful. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like double is like breaking even.
Pretty much.
Anything else is making profit. So yeah, if you triple the budget, which is for a budget like that, I think that's usually like a big blockbuster. Mm-hmm. They probably want to triple it, yeah. At the very least. Yeah. At the very least, for it to be considered a success. So yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And that's interesting too about like recently with Batman.
What about it?
I guess this is kind of just like a blockbuster discussion real quick in the middle of the Alita episode because guess what? There's not that much to talk about. But I just think it's interesting. They're talking about like, oh, the Batman sequel, like blah, 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 the Batman sequel. The movie's not out yet.
But it's going to make a shit ton of money.
The review embargo isn't even up.
It's tomorrow, actually.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Well, while we're recording this, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
By the time you watch this, the Batman reviews will be out already.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to me that I feel like that's just like, whether it is or isn't in production already in any way, which probably it is, but I feel like they mentioned that right before the movie comes out on purpose. It's like some MCU shit where it's like, oh, go see Captain Marvel before Avengers Endgame comes out. Like, oh, you gotta go see the Batman. We're gonna keep doing it, so you better go see it.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like a marketing thing.
It was kind of like that with Doom, when they're like, "Oh, we don't know if Part 2 is gonna get made. You had to go see it if you want it to happen." You know what I mean?
Well, that one feels more real because it's like, please, we need money. Like,
yeah.
See it. But this is like, oh, don't miss out. Like,
but I think what I mean is, I think they kind of, that was definitely a thing for Doom, but they also kind of capitalized off it. I think. I don't know, like to get people to go see it to make money. They're like, yeah, maybe Part 2, it might not happen. Yeah. Which is true, but I'm just saying like. They also kind of use that to their advantage to make more money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they're doing the dual release with HBO Max and all that. And part of the marketing was like, go see it in theater. It's like, you remember?
Yeah. It's like the theater experience.
Yeah.
Can I read this little part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just on Google. I just wanted to look at information about the movie while we talk about it. Thus the total. Okay, it's just funny. Thus the total collection by the film is around $405 million, and the film is super hit.
What does that mean?
I think it's just broken English.
It's super hit.
And it's super hit.
Who said that?
Box Office Diary.
What do they mean super hit?
I think it was just like broken English or a typo. I don't know.
But what do they mean by that though?
It's like, oh, the movie was a super hit.
It was a hit?
Yeah.
According to what are your standards?
According to Box Office Diary.
It's not a hit.
Well, yeah, I know. That's
why it's not getting a sequel.
That's a nutty article.
They were paid off by James Cameron and Fox.
You're like, yeah, super hit, great.
But yeah, the actual. Should we talk about the actual movie now?
Yeah, let's talk about the actual movie.
Because the movie, it does have a lot of stuff going on in the background. I think
it has great stuff going on.
But the actual movie. Not great, in my opinion.
It is great.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm sorry.
No. Dylan, I've asked you already. You tell me why you think this movie is great.
That's such a loaded question. We can't even let the movie. We can't go naturally and talk about the movie. You have to just be like, why is it good?
What you saying?
I don't know.
You said in great because when I said in bad, you're like it's great. So I'm like, tell me why.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
No. I tell you.
Okay.
Okay. Why do I like it, Evan? I like the aesthetic of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't usually like post-apocalypse stuff, but this movie.
I do usually. But continue. I'll tell you why I don't think it's done well in this movie.
Well, I'll just continue. It's like we were mentioning about Robert Rodriguez. Obviously, we said as the director, it's very Spy Kids-esque. This movie.
It definitely.
I would say I haven't seen Spy Kids in so long, but he does crazy camera work in that, right?
For me, it was Spy Kids-esque just in the how the technology looks and stuff like that, and all the character designs. Because we were looking, for context, Dylan owns one of the manga books, and we were just looking through it briefly, and you can it's not 1-to-1 how they look in the manga versus how they do.
There's certain imagery.
You can tell it's obviously based off it, but it's not 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry.
No, I was just gonna say there's certain imagery that looks like I was like, wow, it's weird to see because I have not read the manga yet. I just bought it, but there's certain things I was like, oh, that's weird seeing that in like the source material. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've seen the movie a few times. Some of it does look right out of it, like the city in the sky and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But obviously like Alita looks different and tons of other shit looks different. But
For me, it's like the cyborg characters and like even kind of how they move. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's very Spy
The
Kids-esque, and the way the CGI looks is kind of cartoony.
there's
It's like Spy Kid 3. That's why I really think about it the
Yeah.
most, Spy Kid 3. Because for those of you, I don't know how you haven't seen the classic Spy Kid 3, but that whole movie's like CGI, kind of like this,
yeah
and they're in the video game land.
yeah that whole movie. Because in this movie, almost every character has some element of CG.
Yeah.
And in that, they also all pretty much had an element
Yeah.
of CG, so it's very similar in that way. I would not be surprised if it's the same special effects team.
Yeah,
As Spy
probably.
Kids.
Yeah, that would
Maybe
make
that's
sense.
why it looks so similar. And I guess probably Robert Rodriguez likes that style too.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. And I think that's an interesting thing we can get into in a bit here. I do want to go through why I like the movie a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to talk about what we were discussing during the movie, like how it benefits and also does not benefit from that kind of aesthetic, like the Robert Rodriguez kind of aesthetic, which I actually do like in this movie. But we'll get back into that a little bit later. What else do I like about this movie, Evan? I like Alita, Battle Angel.
Yes, of course.
She's a beautiful, perfect freaking goddess. I love her.
Okay.
No, but I actually do love her design. Like her first body is like porcelain, like weird porcelain. It's like unique kind of robot design. I guess. And I fucking love seeing Christoph Waltz in his big trench coat and his hat, and like
He looked cool.
him
I
having
agree.
the big rocket hammer.
Yeah, he does look cool.
Um,
Her, I don't think it was translated that well from the manga to the.
well, frankly,
To the-
Evan, I don't
to
give a
the-
fuck about the manga.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, she looks cool in the manga. I really like it a lot, but
No, actually,
on the screen, I don't know.
I like her a lot.
I don't think it was done that. It's not terrible. I'm not shitting on like when it was first coming out and everyone shot on it. No. But it's like, I don't know. It's
It is-
something uncanny about it.
It's a very strange choice. Is she a Martian?
No, she's not a Martian.
Yeah, she is, right?
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, she was on the moon, but I don't think she is a Martian. She come from that city in the sky.
No.
Is there something I missed?
Okay,
Like
so
she came from Mars.
Okay.
What?
If you have not seen this movie, this is going to be confusing. But here we go. Initially, so there's the city in the sky with the elites.
Yeah.
And then there's the poor people on the bottom. Very subtle.
Yeah.
Very subtle. But so the city in the sky with the Jetsons, rich people, they assume, like, oh, all the people in this dump, or not all the people. Everything in this dump comes from that rich people city. So you must be from there. That's what they assume.
Yeah.
But then later, she goes into the Martian rocket and realizes, oh, I'm a Martian.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
Warrior.
that is what happened.
So I guess
That was when I was dozing off. You remember? So I guess it's a good time to mention that.
you didn't have to admit that. That was the point where Evan was like, oh, never mind. Like, Evan was sleepy. But yeah, so it's kind of
Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah. Okay.
it's a bit of a misdirect because at first you assume like, oh, she must be junk from the rich people.
Yeah.
But really, she's a Martian. Because the Martians had invaded Earth, so she's a leftover from that.
Okay.
Because they were trying to invade the city on those wires.
Was she evil?
Well, I guess we would have found out in the sequel.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. They never really fully get into like the reasoning behind it, right? You just have her memories.
Yeah. I mean, I think the implication would have been like they were trying to liberate the people of Earth. Like
That's what I think it would
poor
probably
people.
have been. Yeah.
That's probably what it would have been. And at the end of the movie,
Might be in the manga.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the manga. And I'm probably gonna watch the animes too. Which I don't know. There's something about and you said like, why do I like the character? I don't fucking know, Evan. She's cute. She's a superhero. Who fucking cares? I don't know. I just like her. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No, but so the reason I brought that up about the Martian thing is because I was wondering like. At first, when I saw the trailers, I didn't know anything about Alita. I was like, why does she have big eyes?
Yeah.
Like, what's the
I thought it was just like robot, and they wanted to keep the anime type style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I assumed.
Kind of like...
Which is part of the point, I think. But Yeah.
Kind of like Spider-Man robot eyes in the MCU or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, she's a robot, but she has big anime eyes.
Yeah.
She has big anime eyes but no one else has big anime eyes.
Yeah.
Because she's the only Martian, and Martians have big eyes, I guess.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think that's why.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's tons of other cyborgs and robots, and none of them have big, beautiful eyes. So.
But she's the main character.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of both.
I think she's just an alien. I think that's why.
Yeah, but I just mean like they wanted to have that anime shit also.
Yeah, it is kind of like the only, like, quote-unquote live action movie with, like, anime eye girl.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's probably, like, the one thing people know this movie for. If you're, like, just a normal guy.
I guess so.
Oh, yeah, I remember that movie with the big eyes. Yeah.
I remember Big Eyes by Tim Burton.
I don't.
Not relevant to the
I
conversation.
don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about Tim Burton. Fuck Tim Burton. Tim Burton would have been a bad choice for this.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that.
I just said that.
I feel like when he tried to do dystopian, he did Planet of the Apes remake, and that was not. So yeah, I don't know about that.
There's a bit of a Edward Scissorhands quality to this movie.
I guess,
There's a bit of that in there.
Kind of.
That doesn't mean he'd be good for it.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that. I just said that for no reason. I'm sorry.
He's much better in the gothic sense than like.
His movie's a little goth.
Not really. It's more cyberpunk.
No, it's goth.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
This movie, it feels a little Invader Zimmy to me.
Huh?
It feels a little Invader
I don't know
Zimmy.
what this man is saying anymore. You said Tim Burton, fucking Invader Zim.
No.
Explain.
Like the big tentacles and the body horror and like the.
Was there body horror in this?
Well, I guess it would just be called violence, maybe. But there's some pretty sweet. You want to talk about that? That's one thing I like about this movie: the action, but also the violence is cool.
Of course, we love violence.
We love violence.
This is a good follow up on our last episode.
Yeah, it is.
We completely missed the point. Just give us blindly give us violence.
But in this movie, it's just oil.
Yeah,
not blood.
Well, except the one dude who literally gets fucking chopped in half.
There's a guy that gets legit chopped in half.
The guy from Detective Pikachu.
The classic Detective Pikachu pro tag. So, I mean,
this pushes that PG-13 rating.
It does.
The movie. I can say that it does push the PG-13.
That is a good point.
rating.
And you know what? I like that. So, there's Alita like slams a guy's face or a girl's face against a brick wall. She like rips people's arms off and.
Yeah, it's like you said. For most of it, they can get away with it because like they're robots.
Yeah.
Or at least half robot, whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, that one dude's death is actually pretty brutal because he was full human and he gets like chopped in half and you see like blood. It's not like the blue oil shit or whatever.
And also the main love interest guy, his head is cut off.
Oh yeah.
His spinal cord is connected to her like body.
Yeah.
Which is fucking.
That was pretty crazy.
That's body horror.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
But the whole movie, like, I think it gets away with it too because the whole movie has like that cartoony, like we were saying, like Spy Kids. Vibe.
Yes, and that's part of what I don't like about it.
I think I do.
I feel like it didn't work for this world, in my opinion.
I kind of hate post-apocalypse stuff, but the fact that it's handled in this like weird Spy Kids way, I kind of like it.
Maybe that's just. I think me and you, like, when it comes to that, we just have different sensibilities. Maybe. You know what I mean? It's like for something like this kind of these kind of worlds, I prefer like kind of a more serious, kind of dark sci-fi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this movie
kind of like Dune, something like that. You know what I mean? Dune's not really post-apocalyptic, but you know what I mean. Just that kind of, just a more serious take on that kind of world, or like Mad Max: Fury Road, something like that.
Yeah, this movie ain't Mad Max. It's not like Terminator. It's not.
No, not at all. Not at all. So we were talking about it too. I had told Dylan, like, when it had came out, people were saying like, "Well, this feels like, even though Robert Rodriguez directed, it really feels like a James Cameron movie." No, it's fully Robert Rodriguez. Like,
I think that
definitely.
Was maybe recency bias and like people trying to validate the movie.
Maybe, well, like I said, there's nothing wrong with Robert Rodriguez. Some people really like it.
Yeah, like Billy.
And I like Robert Rodriguez also as a director. I just don't think his style worked well with the material here, in my opinion.
Yeah. And when we were talking about that earlier, you mentioned, I would have liked to really see the actual like James Cameron version of this movie.
That would have been great, in my opinion.
Even though I do like this movie a lot, I agree. I would love to see that version of the movie.
Yeah,
that'd be very interesting. Release the Cameron.
Release the Cameron cut. No, that really does not exist. Okay, the Snyder Cut did not exist, but
The Cannon Cut super does not exist.
Um, so yeah, that's really what it comes down to. It was just like, I just feel like the style did not mesh well. Robert Rodriguez was not a great choice, in my opinion. But there are some parts though where it really does work well, like the motorball.
Yeah.
The motorball stuff. I wish it was more. There was more of that in the movie because that scene looked great.
Yeah, they're only really like 2
And I wish
scenes.
it wasn't like interrupted either. I wish we saw. That's why they should have one where it's like, oh, there's something else going on, and there should have been like an actual scene of a legit motorball game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We'd never get like a
basically
real one.
You basically get motorball being played on the street by kids.
Yeah.
And then you get a motorball game with Alita playing it where they're all trying to kill her, and that's all you get.
Yeah. So if we saw like her actually playing it, like at the end you see like, oh, she rose up the ranks, but you never actually see her like legit playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really a missed opportunity,
in
my opinion.
I did really like though in the only real motorball game you see, I really liked how the announcers just like kind of like fuck it. Like I like that. It's really funny to me because what does he say? I can't remember exact lines, but he's basically like, I don't know. He's just like, well, I guess they're just fighting. Like,
yeah.
I guess they're just fighting now. Like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, cool. Like I said, that's one of the better parts
And
of
also,
the movie,
it's
in
like,
my opinion.
there's an element of it being like, he's probably corrupt, but he probably doesn't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
So he's trying to still be a commentator. I don't know. That was a cool little background thing. But yeah, I like that fight. That fight's really good.
Yeah,
I like all the action, honestly.
I liked it in that scene. The bar scene is kind of cool, but a lot of it's really hammy.
The
in my
dialogue
opinion.
is really goofy.
Yeah. And then when the dog dies there, it's like, really?
I like it.
Like, usually when dogs die, I'm like, oh no. But, like, this dog was like, they try to make it, like, a moment of character development for her, but she had only seen the dog, like, once. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't really build any kind of relationship between her and the dog.
Yeah.
And then she claimed to be, like, some, like, warrior for, like, peace and justice, even though she had literally minutes before that started this unnecessary fight between everyone in the bar. So it's like, wait, what? You know what I mean? She's like, oh, I do not stand in the face of evil, which sounded really stupid.
No,
in my opinion. It was not delivered well. I'll at least say
it
that.
sounds epic.
Okay, sure. It was not delivered well at all, and it makes no sense. Like, what up to this point had, like...
She's not noble.
Yeah, there's nothing up to that point that claims she's, like, some arbiter of peace and justice. You know what I mean?
That reminds me...
Even in her memories, you never see her, like, oh, I was some great hero. You know what I mean? You just see her in, like, some kind of war.
Yeah, she's a soldier.
Yeah.
But
and, like, so...
Evan doesn't think soldiers are heroes, guys.
What was I saying?
Oh, you know what's funny? Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, well, you were talking about the hero thing.
Yeah.
But just real quick, I just opened IMDb back up, and it says more like this, and the first movie is fucking Ready Player One.
That makes sense.
During the movie...
But I have not seen Ready Player One.
That's true, but during the movie, I was like, this is like a good version of Ready Player One. It's certainly... Whether you think it's... Both of them are good or not, this one is certainly better. Ready Player One is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I have not seen Ready Player One, but I believe that it's worse.
Terrible fucking movie. But yeah, so please continue. You were talking about,
Yeah, it's just like, it didn't make much sense, in my opinion, because nothing up to that point had implied that she was, like, any kind of hero or anything. This movie actually kind of
reminds me of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
In a few ways.
Both not well-developed characters.
They're both bad. They're both sexy. They're both... No. They both have the amnesia thing going on.
Yeah.
And they're both kind of, I think that kind of is a reason. I don't think it's a great excuse, and it doesn't make for, like, a perfect story or anything, but she kind of...
Well, but I was kind of getting into that. There's, like, nothing in her memory, so when she starts remembering implies that she... Yeah, stuff like...
There's a disconnect there.
Yeah. And then, like I said, minutes before that, she starts this fight. Like, what is so heroic about that? Because the fight was completely unnecessary. She just wanted to piss them off.
I mean, she's morally gray.
Okay.
No, well,
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Okay?
Yeah.
I love this movie. It's a great movie. Okay. She was forced to do that so she could remember who she is.
What?
She needed to fight to remember who she is.
I thought she said the reason was so she could get people to join her.
Oh. Well, yeah. That too. Noble.
I mean, maybe you're onto something. I don't know.
Well, she did. Because doesn't she have a memory in that scene?
I can't remember.
But the reason she pursues conflict in the movie is to remember who she is, right? Pretty much.
That's convenient.
And it's also true. So, there you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Like I said, it's just not... The script is really not great, in my opinion. So it's like... That's why it's bad to me. It's like, okay, the script isn't well, and then... Well, maybe the directing can save it, but then for me, the direction just didn't work for the material. So it's like, all in all, it just kind of falls flat for me. And then it's like... Maybe the different part of it, we were talking about, it was like, even you enjoy the movie, even you were kind of saying, like, it feels really long. And it's not that long, but it feels really long. And I think part of it was, I think, because I'm guessing the manga has a lot of material. It feels like they try to maybe cram too much into it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And because, again, neither of us have read the manga, but it kind of reads that way, and that's kind of what you expect with a movie like this.
Yeah, so that's part of it. And then at the same time, the fact that it doesn't feel like it's just its own thing. Kind of like Dune. Like, it feels like, oh, part 1, part 2 type.
Baggage.
Yeah. So, in that way, it's like, oh, you don't really get any... The combination of those two things, it's like, nothing really clear comes out, like, theme-wise or anything. For me, at least, when I was watching it.
Yeah, I guess I would agree with that.
Yeah, so...
And there's no real strong relationships in the movie.
Yeah, so it's like, not that there needs to be like, oh, like a message in the movie or nothing. No, I don't agree with that. It can just be a fun movie. But then for me, yeah, it's like, it didn't work out, so I don't know.
And I also felt like there's a...
What were you saying about the relationships, though? What do you like?
Well, I was just saying that is also a reason I think the movie drags a bit and it feels a little hollow because, like, she has a love interest, okay, like... And he parallels her, I guess, right? But,
Do they?
Well, yeah, because she falls down and he goes up.
He wants to go up.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And he say, if I was a robot, I would go up, and then he does.
Yeah, and then he immediately dies. Oh, yeah, that was also really bad to me. Because I hate, like, it really ruins the effect of a death when you do a fake out and then immediately actually kill them off.
Yeah.
So that's like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's a screenwriting rule. Like,
Yeah.
you don't do a fake out death and then immediately kill them right after. Like, he literally dies like 5 minutes after his fake death. Like, it's right after. So it's like, okay, we thought he died. So I didn't feel any emotional attachment, but for someone who did, you're like, oh shit, oh wait, he's alive. And then you actually kill him off. So it ruins the emotional impact of the actual death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was bad.
That's literally the exact same way I feel about episode 8.
Did he have a fake out death in episode 8?
Because Kylo puts the lightsaber through his ghost. And then he really dies.
I don't think that's the same. But I can see what you mean. But I don't know. It didn't seem like they go out of their way to make you think he died. Right?
Yeah, it doesn't really, really make you think he died.
But I can see what you mean.
But,
I'll take that.
But because it's like, oh, he tricked him in a fight and he
Don't
didn't
make me
die.
start defending the bad movie I like, okay? I'm just joking. I'm joking.
That's a trend in movies we're both like on the opposite ends of. Like there's a death,
Yeah.
and a death. But yeah, the a lot of the emotional weight is undercut by the fact that their relationship is like bad. I don't like the actor. I do like the actress that plays Alita, but I don't like the actor that plays Hugo. And
Dude, he's in Euphoria.
Oh right.
Dude, he could be in Batman Beyond.
Oh yeah.
How can you not like him?
Dude, Terry McGinnis actor, famed Warner Brothers actor.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers will keep putting him in movies until he dies. That sounds great. But just like the fact that in that scene it's like, sorry, let me back up.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie, half of the characters are a robot with a skin human face.
Yeah.
this character that we're talking about that dies, right? Hugo is the love interest. He's a human that they save by putting on a robot body.
Yeah.
So it's a robot with a human head. And it's a scene where they're both, like, crying, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, this terrible-looking CG. It's some of the... Honestly, I think him on that robot body is, like, some of the worst in the movie. It looks pretty bad.
We said that before, but, well, you joked about it. I was talking about, like, yeah, the CGI towards the end looks really stupid. Like, it looks especially Spy Kids-esque. And you're like, yeah, they started running out of money by the end. Maybe you're onto something.
Yeah, maybe they went in chrono order, and they ran into some issues. I don't know. But Alita, I think, looks fantastic the whole time. She looks good, I think.
She's the best, like, element design-wise. The big guy looked really bad, too.
The big guy.
Like, I remember there's that one shot of him when they're having the fight, like, under the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, he looks like Gears of War. Like, in his face, he looked like... You remember, like, the CGI trailer for Gears of War?
Yeah.
He looked like the dude
like
from...
2009.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did not look great. That's okay, because this movie's epic.
Yeah. Clearly, very epic.
He gets a cool, like, video game boss upgrade.
Who?
That guy.
Oh, yeah, he does.
It's like Batman Arkham City.
Yeah, he gets his claw fingers.
Where you, like, like, Alita breaks his arm, and then he gets his arm fixed, and she can't break it like that again.
Oh, yeah.
I love that part, honestly, where... Oh, so we were saying they pushed the limit on the R rating, and that fight you were just talking about. I do love that part. I don't know how you feel about it.
When she puts the arm in his eye?
Yeah.
That was cool.
I love it.
That was cool.
I love it.
It was cool.
And they drop an F-bomb there.
They do.
Also is why, because they got the F-bomb and all that violence in there, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good movie. No, but it's cool. Like, she gets ripped apart, and she's basically just, like, a torso, an arm, and a head. She catches herself, and then, like, lunges into his eye.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck you.
Yeah, it was cool.
And I like that a lot. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, it was cool. Some of the action was cool.
Yeah.
That was the better part of the bar fight scene, I guess. When she was just fighting that dude. Yeah.
And I think she looks...
That one dude is terrible. I guess we can talk about him. The, like, other hunter
the pretty
guy.
boy kind of guy.
Yeah. He's horrible.
And
it's so weird. Why didn't Jai Courtney have a cameo in this also?
As the guy.
Yeah, he's just in the background as one, like, the hunter warriors. And then he's not in the rest of the movie.
I almost genuinely feel like that was a reference to the guy.
I don't know about that. But
well,
maybe.
can I explain my case?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me explain my case.
Okay, yeah.
So in Spy Kids, for those of you that don't know, Spy Kids 3.
Spy Kids 3, game over.
Game over. There's a character named the guy, and he's
played by Elijah Wood. You can't forget that.
Played by famed actor Elijah Wood.
Of course.
And he is, like, supposedly the greatest character in the entire game, right?
Yeah.
Not unlike Jai Courtney is the greatest
motorball
player.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood's character, the guy, has a big shiny silver costume. Jai Courtney has a big shiny gold costume.
Was it gold?
Yes. Most characters in this movie don't have just one solo dolo color.
Mm-hmm.
Jai Courtney did. Okay.
Maybe it was a reference.
And then another reason, okay, is because Elijah Wood famously dies unceremoniously in that scene, and he's ineffectual, right? Jai Courtney, as we find out later, is just gonna wind up as, like, a brain in a tube to be experimented on. So he doesn't even get to go to the heaven area.
Rest in peace, Jai Courtney.
The guy? Anyone?
It's similar, but I don't think he was referencing it. But maybe.
Maybe he just likes ineffectual, like, perfect gods.
Yeah, it might be just a Robert Rodriguez thing. Yeah.
I don't know. But that's very similar.
I guess so, yeah.
Very similar.
But it was much better in Spy Kids 3.
Well, yeah. It's like an actual overt, like, joke. But it's just, like, exposition in this.
The guy. The guy was fresh as hell.
He was drippy.
Yeah. The silver game suit.
It would be really cool if, like, they cut to, like, the gamer's reaction of dying in Spy Kids 3, and it was, like, a big fat guy.
Oh, if the guy was a big fat guy?
Yeah.
That would have been interesting, I guess.
I don't think they can do that, though, because weren't they all, like, locked into the game? If you die, don't you die in real life? In Spy Kids 3?
Yeah, I think so.
The guy died.
Yeah, he did.
Holy shit.
Rest in peace.
Anyways.
Game over.
Game over. I love that movie.
Yeah, Spy Kids 3 is great.
So why don't you like this?
Because Spy Kids is Spy Kids and Alita Battle Angel is Alita Battle Angel.
That's
Completely
facts.
different worlds.
You're speaking facts.
Completely different characters.
You know what's interesting,
Hmm?
Evan? It kind of reminded me of Itchy a little bit.
How
in
so?
that, she cut someone in half,
Oh.
all the way up, like
Oh.
in the dead center, like down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And she also does the classic Itchy heel kick, like
Oh, yeah,
from
she does.
Overhead.
She does.
I don't, probably not overt references, but
No, definitely not a reference. I don't think, but they are both based off Japanese mangas.
interesting.
So,
Interesting.
but it's funny you bring that up, Dylan, because there was a question I think that I mentioned to you that I was gonna ask you,
Oh.
and it's funny you bring that up.
Oh.
So, Dylan,
What question do you have for me?
do you ship Itchy the Killer and Battle Angel Alita?
Only if, you know what? No, I don't.
Good.
Why?
No, I
What a great question. What a good question, Evan. Thank you. What?
I was just thinking about how similar the titles are.
Alita Battle Angel and Itchy the Killer?
Yeah. Both based off Japanese mangas.
They both have colons.
There you
Good point.
go.
Good point.
It was just like character name, their title.
Colon what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Good point. But I don't ship them. I hate Itchy and I love Alita.
There you go.
Good
I wouldn't ship them either because Itchy's a horrible person.
I was gonna say only if Alita kills him, but I don't want them to live together. Like I don't want them near each other.
I agree.
I don't want them to exist in the same universe. Like I just don't want that.
I agree.
I don't want him touching my beautiful, perfect angel.
But yeah.
What else is there?
There's just so much to say.
There's just so much to say.
No, but to come back to the character relationship thing, I think the most like developed relationship in the movie, probably between her and Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
I think that was the best one in my opinion. I actually do kind of like the father-daughter thing they have going.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, and his motivation between like kind of like wanting to protect her makes sense because you find out about his daughter. Yeah, I think that was well done.
And he had the body already.
Yeah,
Because of his daughter and.
That was well done. Her death, like, scene was pretty goofy, in my opinion. That flashback was terrible.
You almost couldn't have, like, you could have got away with, like, not showing. I know it's like, oh, show don't tell, but, like, that was terrible.
It was. This is exactly what I mean, though. It's just, like, Robert Rodriguez was really not the right choice for this material, in my opinion. Because, like, that should be played way more straight and serious than it was.
For me, I love everything except when it's supposed to be, like,
Yeah.
genuinely really serious.
Exactly. Because that was so goofy.
Yeah, that was bad. Because he kind of just, like...
He hits her off the chair, and then she, like, disappears.
And then you just see the wheelchair. On second thought, maybe that was a masterwork of comedy. I don't know.
But you see what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's just, like, moments like that, it's like... Because Robert Rodriguez, for those of you who don't know, he never really plays it completely straight in any of his movies. Would you agree with that?
I mean, I haven't seen that many of his movies, but yeah.
But, like, what you have seen, like,
Yeah.
Spy Kids, even Sin City.
Well, I have seen Sin City, but...
Sin City's not, like...
It's like...
I mean, the material is heavy, but I wouldn't say it's, like, very serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But it does have, like, serious subject matter, I guess. And it's very... It's, like, very comic booky, and it works in... For Sin City, it works. You know what I mean? It's like the page coming to life. You know what I mean? I don't know. It worked for that. And also, I think Robert Rodriguez is already... I think he does well with, like, crime movies. Like crime movies mixed with, like, some fantastical elements. So that... It worked for him. Whereas science fiction, maybe not so much. In my opinion.
I guess I'd agree with that, Evan.
Yeah.
You know what? I guess I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So, like From Dusk Till Dawn, that's a great movie. You seen that?
I've never seen it.
That's
Is
a good one.
that the vampire cowboy movie?
Yeah,
Nice.
And that's a good, yeah. So,
That's on my watch list.
So yeah, he does well with that kind of genre melding in that sense, because it's like half of it's a crime movie, and then the other half is like a horror, and it worked well in that. Or like The Faculty. The Faculty is like kind of like Scream, It's like one of them goofy '90s horror movies.
Isn't Elijah Wood in that one too?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
they already worked together. Yeah. Elijah Wood's in Sin City also.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's funny. He must like
great
Elijah
friend
Wood.
Robert Rodriguez, Elijah Wood, great friends.
That's the greatest director actor duo I've ever fucking heard of. Fuck
yeah,
Leo and Scorsese.
For real.
Holy shit. I fuck with that. I never thought about that.
Yeah, they worked together a few times.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, 4.
Yeah. 4.
The Faculty, Sin City,
and
Spy
Kids.
Kids.
Yeah, only
Was there another one we said?
No, those were the 3 we said.
Fuck you.
Maybe there's
No, you said he was in Dusk Till Dawn, right?
No, he's not in it.
Oh,
I was just mentioning from Dusk Till Dawn, but no, Elijah Wood's not in that movie.
Shout out to Elijah Wood.
Yeah, shout out Elijah Wood.
You want to do Wilfred season 1 next week?
Yeah, bet. So yeah, but besides that, I like Christoph Waltz and her relationship. They've one of the better parts of the movie, also.
I agree.
In my opinion, yeah.
And I really like the parts where she's first coming to life and shit is good.
Yeah, cool.
When she first
the beginning, yeah, it's decent, yeah. Jennifer Connelly character, that was weird. Like, it does not seem believable at all that they were married to each other. They got like his old wife.
I know. I couldn't buy it, I guess. It's just that she's so underplayed that it doesn't...
Maybe that part of it, because like, she really isn't really given anything to do, any good material.
Yeah.
Which is... I don't know why, because Jennifer Connelly is a good actress, but whatever.
I feel like there's elements there that, like, could have some substance, but they really don't. Like, her boyfriend secretly, like, steals robot parts from cyborgs for money, but she's a cyborg. And it's like, her like, surrogate father is like a helpful doctor and hero, and then like her surrogate like kind of mother, like his ex-wife, is like this evil bitch for the rich people, and they're like opposites, and like there's some stuff there, but it's not like it's like
so yeah, I don't know, I really don't I've kind of shit on the movie. It's not terrible, but I really don't have like too much else to say about it, honestly. Because it's like, well, I said my gripes with it, and then there's not really enough substance-wise for me to like go into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's really all I really had to say about Alita Battle Angel.
Do you like when she puts little football things under her eyes?
No, I thought that part was terrible.
Oh, I like
because it was with the dog's blood.
She does it again.
Maybe it was better later, but like when the first time she does it with the dog's blood, I was like, because like I said, they didn't develop that. She sees the dog once at the beginning, and then later the dog just randomly appears, and then it proceeds to die. And it's like, you know what I mean?
I wanted to mention that reminds me of Goku. Like, I guess in the English dub, they made him like they changed his dialogue to be more like, oh yeah, what was it? He's like, it's like the Alita shit. It's like, I'm the protector of Earth. Like, I'm Earth's greatest hero. But in the actual anime, like, I think in the Japanese version, he just wanted to fight somebody. Like I think.
Oh, yeah. That's a big thing in Goku. He just wants to fight.
Yeah, but
to become stronger or whatever.
I think in the original English
he's like,
or dub, whatever. Maybe both.
Yeah, they made him say, like, the protector of Earth.
He's like, I'm the protector of Earth. Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Kind of, yeah. That's not a bad point.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what would you give this movie out of 100?
Out of 100? Please, Dylan. You can't give me the crazy ranks. I like my 1 out of 10.
Why don't you just round up?
I give it a 4 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
Personally, a 4 out of 10.
We delete this episode. I give this movie 3 stars out of 3 stars.
You love it, really?
Robert Rodriguez, if you want to come on the podcast...
Well, that'd be awesome, because I like Robert Rodriguez.
Come on. We don't have to have Evan here. We can just meet me and you. We can just shoot the shit. We can talk about Alita 2.
Yeah, that's in the works as we speak.
That's in the works as we speak. We know you're toiling away on it. We know James Cameron is co-directing it with you.
Yeah, he is.
And we know it's going to be the greatest film ever made.
I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel.
I would love to see a sequel.
They can make it.
I love this movie. It was a very ham-fisted attempt at a franchise, though.
Yes.
I think, for me, the 2 worst parts of the movie, aside from the boyfriend's death at the end, which was like, holy shit, but that kind of, okay. Robert Rodriguez, kind of like the way he handles the serious moments, and also the kind of ham-fisted attempt to make it a franchise, those 2 things are really bad to me, but I love the rest of the movie.
Yeah, like if you already weren't solid on whether or not this was gonna be successful and be a franchise, you know what I mean? You should just focus on telling a good story.
Yeah, make one good movie.
Instead of trying to have all these setups.
Yeah.
Which it has a lot, like we mentioned with Edward Norton. We didn't really even get into him. You find out Edward Norton's like, I think you did mention actually that he's like the main villain, and he has like a second cameo at the very end.
Yeah, and he can what can he do? He can possess anyone.
Like
at
the
any
robots
time.
or whatever.
He can possess anyone.
Is it anyone?
Mahershala Ali's not a robot.
He's not part robot. Is it? But I think they have like something in their brain.
He
or
must
something.
have something.
Yeah, I
in
think
his brain, yeah.
It's not just anyone. It's like I think
Maybe
they mentioned he has
employees.
like some kind of chip or something.
His employees.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Yeah, which is scary, but
Fucking, that's what what's his name's working on?
Elon Musk. Yeah. Just tell. They should have focused on telling a good story and make it one good movie and hope for a sequel. Like you have a bit of a cliffhanger, but you know what I mean. Just tell a good story. Don't have so much focus on so much.
Yeah,
setup.
have a bit of a post-credit scene or something, but it was weird. It's very weird the way they try and set up the. Because they kill. I actually kind of like Mahershala Ali's death.
Rest in peace.
Personally, in this movie, I do like it. And it's really funny because, like, when he's dying, he's like, no matter. Like, I was weary of this man anyways. Like, he was being possessed by the real villain.
Yeah.
It's really silly, but I love that part.
Yeah.
It's really fucking cool. It's really funny. Just like the way he's, like, dead-eyed and, like, he's just, like, whispering, like, no matter.
Yeah.
That shit's hilarious to me. But anyways, it's really fucking weird. Like, do you really expect someone to buy, like, the box set of the Alita trilogy and watch the first one and be like, well, that was a good movie? Like, without the other two? Like, it feels like such a first act of something.
Yeah.
Even though it drags for so long. Maybe that's why it drags so long, too, is because it doesn't get going. Like, it kind of just stays in a first act type area. You know?
Yeah, maybe. I kind of agree with that, yeah. Not great.
Because it feels like her call to action is the end of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Like, she figures out actually what she's doing. But, like, the whole movie is her trying to remember who she is. And then eventually she's like, oh, I have to fight this guy.
Yeah, that's part of it. It's like, it gets pretty boring after a while.
Yeah.
Which is, like you say, like her trying to remember, it's like 2 hours of that. A little over 2 hours of that.
It kind of does feel like 2 hours of a first act.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a genius.
Yeah, genius zone.
Because you know what I'm talking about? Like, story structure, like, call to action.
Yeah.
That's, like, the third beat on, like, the fucking hero's journey or whatever. Or something like that. And it feels like when she calls out Mahershala Ali at the... Or no, sorry, Edward Norton at the end. When she, like, you know, she points at him, like, the baseball thing. You know?
Yeah. Which is, you know, a lot of people give Dune shit for the same reason, though, because it's like, oh, it's very clearly, you know, like half of a story. Which is, yeah, I could say it's understandable. Oh, yeah, clearly Alita did much better. It's understandable criticism in that case. Obviously, yeah, Dune wouldn't be as good if Part 2 never got made, or even if Part 2 sucks, it's like, okay, it'll ruin Part 1 a little bit because it's not, like, fully its own thing. It's just, I feel like everything in Dune was done well, though, versus this. That's part of it also.
Dylan is shaking his head.
Yeah.
Dylan is shaking his head.
But there you go.
This is a great film.
Yeah. You gave me so many points as to why this was a great film, so.
I mean, really, it's not, it's not, it's no Spider-Man 2.
Well, of course not.
It's no Citizen
It's hard
Kane.
to be Spider-Man 2.
It's no, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, no.
I'm apprehensive to call it a guilty pleasure, because I don't think it's that bad. But it's just a movie that I like.
Nothing wrong with that?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Evan, you know what we should talk about briefly?
Mm-hmm.
We should talk... Well, actually, I was curious to bring it back to Dune and Alita. So do you actually find fault in that, in Dune? Do you not like that about the movie, that it kind of ends with a cliffhanger type of thing?
Well, it's like, for me, Alita, we know the sequels never come. Well, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be as bad if it was coming.
Evan,
you know what I mean?
Evan looked at me with regret and sorrow in his eyes.
So it worsens it. But also, I don't feel like, for Dune, it's just like, it kind of stops at the end. Whereas in this, it feels like they're doing so many setups. I didn't feel like in Dune, even though it's half of a story, it didn't feel like they were constantly trying to set things up. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have, like, at the very end of Dune, like, Tom Holland, like, pop out and be like, you know, for, like, a 10-second cameo as, I don't know what the name of the guy who Thing plays in the original Dune. The guy who's going to be the villain in the second half of Dune. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like Tom Holland popped out. It's like, oh, yeah. I'm coming. Yeah, you know what I mean? Which is like what they did with Edward Norton. Like, this felt like it had a lot of Age of Ultron type shit. You know what I mean? Where it's like trying to set up a bunch of stuff. Where I didn't feel like that was in Dune. It didn't feel like there was like a bunch of weird setups, you know what I mean, that we don't see pay off. It really just feels like half of a story.
I feel like there weren't a lot of setups, but I think the way that they approached the setup, like, handicapped the rest of the entire movie, if that makes sense.
In Dune or in Alita?
Alita.
Oh, okay.
Not in Dune.
Yeah.
Because in Alita, they're trying to save Edward Norton, right? So it's like Mahershala Ali doesn't get the shine because he's not really the real villain.
Yeah.
And you have the elements of you want to show off the Edward Norton, like, ghost voice, like, possession
shit.
And obviously there's the actual physical villains that actually fight her. So there's a lot of shit kind of that gets... A lot of shit gets less focused than it should because they also have that Edward Norton weird element in the background.
Yeah.
And obviously that character is in the movie and he has a presence in the movie a lot, but he doesn't have any type of characterization. We don't know his motives. We don't know
exactly.
Yeah.
So like I said, well, just that alone,
Dune doesn't waste its time on anything like
exactly,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is part of the problem, like I said, in this. And like I said, that's bad already, but then it's worse by the fact that, well, the sequel is never coming. You know what I mean? So that makes it even worse.
Oh, goodness me. But now that I think about it about Dune, like, it's a good comparison.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It is a good comparison because Dune is like, even though I'm not super hot on Dune, it is a good standalone movie. Even though, like you said, it's like clearly supposed to be multiple movies.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Because like I said, Dune doesn't waste its time on, well, we're going to tell you about this, but we're never going to show you, and there's never going to be a payoff.
Yeah.
Like, everything's like...
And that's what I mean, basically, yeah.
And it feels more like, in Dune, it feels like, it does feel more like what's going to happen next. Because basically at the end of Dune, it's like, oh, like, these royal people are choosing to go with these weird sand people. That's kind of the thing at the end of Dune, like, kind of they denounce their old life. Is that kind of what happens in Dune?
I guess that's a way to put it, yeah. But it's not. It's more like because they're, like, exiled, but yeah.
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I just mean, like, I don't know if denouncing is the way to put it, but I see exactly what you're saying, though. It's just, like, they're separated from that old life that they had. Yeah.
There's actually kind of, like, a change.
Yeah.
A definitive change, and it's like, oh, well, what will happen when they go do that? But it's also kind of like, well, that can also be an ending, even though, like you said, it does feel like a cliffhanger. But in Alita, it really feels like she, at the end of the movie, she realizes like, oh, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Not the comparison I was expecting to come up, but yeah. There you go.
That. And also, can I mention this, Evan?
Mm-hmm.
I like, my favorite skin in Fortnite is Suki, because she reminds me of Alita.
Who the fuck is Suki?
She's like, she kind of looks like Alita's first appearance, kind of like the white and gold kind of thing. But
is that the one in the Battle Royale thumbnail?
Yes, but that's the human version.
Oh, okay.
There's a human alt skin, but the one I play with is the robot one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay.
I feel like I had another thing to say about Dune. I don't know. Just, yeah. Cool comparison. Gave me a lot to think about.
I'm glad.
Give me a lot to think about.
I'm glad. Genuinely, I am glad.
I hate this movie now.
Don't say that.
JK.
Enjoy it for what
Whatever
Okay.
you see in it.
Enjoy it for what it gave you at the time. Okay.
No, I'm completely joking. I still love this movie.
Okay.
But I just enjoy it in a kind of a, you know. I don't enjoy it as a film scholar. Okay, I'll put it like that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I just like it.
Yeah.
It's like that classic Marge Simpson quote.
I don't know.
She says, "I just think it's neat."
Nothing wrong with that.
I just think it's neat.
Nothing wrong with that. So is that everything we gotta say
That's
about
all I
it?
gotta say, Evan.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
That's everything I have to say too.
Great movie. A great time was had by all. Disney make another one.
Yeah, Disney owns it now, huh?
You know what? Disney don't make another one.
No.
You fucking suck. Fuck Disney.
Oh, and also that's another reason I don't like this movie also because like, well now it like gives more ammo to not do like, try and do new original blockbusters. You know what I mean? When they flop and also are terrible in quality. In my opinion, you know, they're even less likely to do like blockbusters that aren't like superhero movies or sequels. You know what I mean?
Well, we didn't even mention really the fact that anime movies kind of have the same track record as video game movies.
Well, yeah, that is definitely a thing.
I like this better than any video game movie I can think of, but still.
Yeah, you have a point.
Are you agree?
Yeah.
Evan, what would you give this movie out of 2?
A 0. I'm sure.
Oh, damn.
That's like don't like it. Don't like it. 1 out of 2.
Well, see, I tricked you, Evan, into giving it a higher score.
I guess, but it's not the same. I guess it's not the same.
Yeah, 3 out of 3 stars. Great movie.
3 out of 3 stars.
Fantastic movie.
4 out of 10 for me.
Evan, do you want to add some time to this episode?
Oh, sure.
Let's do trivia.
Okay.
You want to do trivia?
Yeah, sure.
The motorball game in this film is almost identical to the titular game of rollerball in the film Rollerball in 1975.
That's cool.
Guess who the composer was?
The 1952 one?
No,
Or this
sorry.
one?
Sorry. The
Of
composer
Alita Battle.
of Alita Battle Angel.
Is it Junkie XL?
Yes.
I was like, what composer would we have that we would openly joke about? I was like, it has to be Junkie XL.
So yeah, that's a cool fun fact. The movie features 2 actors who won Academy Awards for Best Supporting Actor twice within 3 years. Christoph
Oh wait,
Waltz.
no. Oh, I was gonna say I wanted to guess. I know Christoph Waltz
You
is
know
one
the
of them.
other
Okay. Oh, Mahershala Ali.
Can you guess the movies?
Well, for Christoph Waltz, it was Django Unchained and
Yeah,
Inglourious Basterds.
that's right.
And yeah, Mahershala Ali, he won for Moonlight and Green Book.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Evan nailed it.
I used to follow the academies. I don't give a shit anymore, but I used to be kind of invested in it. Not a thing I care about anymore, though.
This is kind of interesting, I guess. This is the first time Robert Rodriguez was just the director as opposed to doing several jobs on the set.
Yeah, because usually, kudos to you, Robert Rodriguez. He does his own cinematography. He's done music for the movie before. Writer, obviously. And, what else? Yeah, right. Cinematography.
CGI.
He does the CGI, all that. He ain't done music for it. He's done his own cinematography. So, yeah.
Not unlike John Carpenter.
Remember that episode of George Lopez where Robert Rodriguez was in it? And he played the music at the end?
Oh,
That was an episode of George...
That's awesome.
You remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. And he plays the George Lopez theme on guitar. Yeah.
Like Lowrider?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I gotta watch that episode of frickin' George Lopez.
I remember because, I had known who Robert Rodriguez was since I was, a little kid. And I saw that, I remember seeing that episode, I was like, what the fuck? Why is Robert Rodriguez in George Lopez?
That's one that you would
And I think
see
he played himself.
Did
I
he?
think he even just, friends with George Lopez for some reason.
And it's funny, too,
That's
because
wild.
George Lopez is not, the George Lopez in the show. He's just, a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
the
He's not,
comedian.
famous George Lopez.
Yeah.
But they have worked together on Sharp Boy and Lava Girl. He's
Oh,
Mr. Lecture
yeah.
Dad, remember?
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Great movie. Sharp Boy and Lava Girl, great movie.
So, and also that, I can confirm for you right now that was Jack Courtney.
Yeah.
That was, in fact, him.
Yeah, I remember when I saw it, I said to Dylan, is that Jai Courtney?
This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Some of James Cameron's special effects team worked on this movie.
Well, Avatar didn't look that good.
Maybe they fell off after all these years.
Well, like the Terminator movies, a lot of it was practical. You know what I mean? It wasn't like crazy amounts of CGI. I feel like Avatar was really the first thing he did was like super CGI heavy. Yeah. And obviously that's not a great movie. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, that movie's like a tech demo.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
This is Robert Rodriguez's first PG-13 movie.
Is that? Oh, I guess he's only done PG and R.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, has he only done R? Well, 5 Kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 Kids is a hard R. Yeah, that makes sense.
And also, this is another interesting one, Evan. This movie was released during the acquisition of Fox.
That's what I'm thinking. We were talking about that before. We were like 2019, and like this is Fox. So it was like right before it, or
it was during.
Yeah, it was during it. But yeah, there we go.
The film includes. Guess how many visual effect shots are in the movie?
I have no fucking clue.
Take a shot in the dark. Take a shot in the dark.
Visual effect shots. I have no idea. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how.
You don't have a frame of reference for how many shots there would be in a movie.
To highball it, lowball it. I'm not good with like tech stuff when it comes to movies, so I really don't know.
Let's say there are.
I'm more of a guy who got the down low on the writing and stuff like that. You know, I mean, not the tech stuff.
Let's say there are 2,000 shots in a movie.
Okay, then I'll say 1,500.
Fucking nailed it.
Did I really?
1,500. That's the exact number. We didn't cheat. That's
well,
awesome.
We cheated a little bit by you saying 2,000. You gave me like a ballpark to work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like 3/4 is a good guess of how many shots were CG. Yeah, I guess we don't gotta drag this out too much longer, Evan. So I just wanted to say thank you all for listening. Thank you for enjoying these fun facts. Thank you for siding with me and not Evan.
Yeah.
Thank you for leaving a like. Thank you for leaving a comment about why this movie is great and deserves a sequel. Thank you for messaging Robert Rodriguez and Disney 20th Century Studios for the sequel. And thank you for boycotting any James Cameron films that will come out in the future due to his lack of interest in Alita sequel.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but for real, please leave a like and things such as that.
Things such as that. Please.
In that nature.
Things such as that.
Evan, there's something you forgot to do last week.
The cool Dylan fact?
I hate to mention that to you.
Yeah, was it the cool Dylan fact?
It was that.
I forgot to do it this week too. Because I never come prepared.
Well,
that's the thing.
Now you recall.
It's like whenever I'm too lazy. For those of you who don't know RNS podcasts, Dylan sometimes does notes. I never do notes. I it's always off rip for me. I've done notes like maybe once or twice. Well, obviously for MCU Ranked, it was like that one I kind of had to do the notes. And then I forgot what else.
We both did notes for Nicktoons.
For Nicktoons, yeah.
And we both did notes for a couple other ones.
No, you've done notes for a few. Those are the only two I've done notes for.
Really?
Most of the time it's just, it's like...
You didn't do notes for Spider-Man?
No.
Any of the Spider-Mans?
No.
You did notes for one of the Spider-Man speculation videos.
That was it. Our very first one.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man predictions. So there you go. Our very first video I wrote down my predictions. But besides that, I'm like too fucking lazy, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to start doing notes more.
I always tell myself like, I'm going to write down my cool Dylan fact for the week, and then like I come here, I'm like, oh shit, I don't know.
What is it, Evan?
Okay, I can say...
If this one's bullshit, I'm going to fire you.
I don't know. What I'm going to say is like, I don't know if it's true, but I can say...
Okay, go ahead.
I can't say definitively if it's your number one, but I know it is one of your favorites.
Okay, go ahead.
One of Dylan's beers of choice is a Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's
but I wouldn't say it's your number one.
Yeah, it is.
It is your number one?
It's my beer of choice, I would say.
But it's like more recent. Like recently, you've been on that Michelob wave.
Because for a long time I drank with a friend, and he drank seltzers, so I would just drink seltzers. Yeah. But then I was like, these are gay, and I was like, I'll just drink. I don't remember. Oh, I can credit that to my wonderful Uncle Jim, because Jim had some Michelobs in the fridge, and I was like, oh, these are these slap. I was like, these hit. So thank you to Jim for putting me onto Michelob. This is definitely my favorite beer.
Okay, cool.
And guess what? My favorite black and mild flavor is.
Oh, this I know.
What is it?
Cream.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Is it not cream? I'm pretty sure cream is your favorite. Because I know cream is like when you want to treat yourself. You get the cream. I'm serious. When you want to treat yourself, you get a cream black and mild. Because you're not always smoking the cream. It's like when you want to treat yourself.
The reason I don't always have cream is because they're not at every gas station.
But still, it's a treat.
It is a treat.
It is a treat.
When I find the cream, I do like my eyes shoot out open and.
I know you also like wine.
Wine is probably my favorite. Wine, sweets, jazz, and cream.
You named almost every fucking one of them.
And blue and fucking. Oh man. But yeah, cool story.
So cream's not entirely wrong. I know you like the cream one. But I said wine also, so you know. I know your favorites.
You know the ones I like.
Yeah.
You know the ones. Evan knows what I like.
Yeah.
Evan knows.
I know you're not big on apple. I'm the one who was always talking about the apple, but
Evan does not. Evan never fails to mention the apple black and mild.
Because there's a reason for that. The first time you mentioned it, I thought it was like rare. You're like, yeah, I don't always see apple ads. I thought apple black and mild was rare.
They are kind of rare. They're kind of like cream. You don't see those everywhere.
But they're not rare in the kind of way that I thought of in my mind.
You thought they were rare like a fucking Action Comics
No. Like I thought you had to drive like 30 minutes somewhere to go get an apple or something or you had to drive to the damn country to go get some apple black and mild.
It's just like every third gas station.
Yeah.
Has them.
No, I thought it was like, oh, I gotta go out of my way to get an apple. But it's not like that.
Yeah, they don't. In certain counties, they don't sell them.
Yeah.
Can I mention one thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've had out a little more time.
Okay.
You know what I got this week?
What'd you get?
You know what I got?
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet Witch Marvel Legends.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
Isn't that sweet?
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Should I crucify her?
No. No, that's a nice figure. Don't do that.
Don't do Donna Troy like that. She's not a nice figure.
No.
Additional cool Dylan fact: I have a Donna Troy action figure crucified on my wall.
Can we talk about how that came to be?
Donna Troy Wonder World. I mean, you were. It's not even like there's not even a story. You were just like, crucify this, Dylan. Crucify this. And I was like,
there's a bit more to it though, because you were talking about how different the worst figure on your stand.
Oh right.
You did say that. You're like, why do I have this? And I was like, Dylan, you should crucify it.
Oh, that is true.
And now it's on Dylan's wall, crucified.
And
we should put a picture. We should put a picture at the very end. We should put a picture. We don't do that very often on RNS podcast.
You're right. And she's actually I have a wall of DC posters. It's exclusively DC posters, and she's crucified on that wall. And she's also like right next to you where you have all the female posters, like your Wonder Woman one, the Zatanna one. I really like your Zatanna poster, by the way. Thank you.
And your Cassie, right?
Yeah, Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, your Cassandra Cain, Cassie Cain, fucking poster. So I don't know. It's a good placement. And it looks funny. Yeah, obviously. The red tacks are a nice choice. Right? Yeah, they for the red outfit. Yeah. They bring out her eyes. Yeah. All right, Evan, we can wrap it up. Why don't you tell these people what they need to do now? Subscribe. That's like. 1, 2. View. 3. All the way to the end. This is a short episode, so, you got no excuse. If you finished to this far, me and Evan will shout you out in the next episode. Yeah, turn it off. No, we'll shout you out in the next episode. Yeah, comment. I'll be like, you know what? You're awesome. Say. We're about to have 0 comments. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Just keep subscribing. Just stroke my ego a little bit. This is a callback to the beginning of this episode. Okay, so say hi, Dilly and Evie. Yeah. Say hi, Dilly and Evie in the comments. Yeah. And we'll shout you in the next episode. Even if we get 1 comment, I'll be impressed. I'll be super fucking happy. Yeah. So. I'll be beyond fucking shocked. Me too. If we get just 1. Well, we'll see. TBD. We'll see. And that'll be in the Batman episode. Yeah. And you know what? And if it doesn't come out, it won't be embarrassing because nobody listened to the end. That's so you know true. What I mean? It won't be embarrassing. This has been just for us. Either way, we win. Yeah, exactly. So. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Get some good sleep for Batman. Yeah. Hype episode coming next week. Be rested, be ready. Hype one. And we'll see you then. Goodbye.